Hey beauties, good afternoon to you beautiful people. Beautiful people, I don't know if I'm feeling a sense of angst, which is, maybe some sort of anxiety or just indignation, anger, real anger. It's a mixture of my feelings right now. So, my colleague showed me a video of a male student, somewhat young, fairly young, sort of young, but he seems like one of those disciplinarians, those people who used to be a part of the cadet or the army or something of the sort, or some security thing. Like the way how he was, his disposition, his aura, and how he was acting, he just seems like one of those disciplinarians. And I don't know what he was telling the student. Maybe he told her to go to her seat and she wanted to defy his order. And like she opened the door to and he shut the door, and she opened it back, and I think she draped him up. Lord have his mercy, Jesus. Come down, Father God. Come down from heaven above. The level of disrespect when you drape somebody up. And this is like, let us look at it this way, like a subordinate disrespecting his or her authority. So she draped that teacher up because she said, how dare you prevent me from going where I want to go or doing what I want to do. And I saw where he, as I said, the way how he operated like, somebody was a part of a disciplinarian. So because she draped him up and he didn't want to abuse her physically, it's like he took the back of his hand or something like that and trying to hit her here. When it kind of slap here, it's not damaging really because it's his hand, but it's going to put pressure on you to release. She didn't do that. And she ended up going down on the ground because he was hip slap, and then, maybe how she come down. So he held her down. He held her down and she still was holding on to the teacher. She was defiant. She was determined, not in a good way. And he stayed in one place. Like, he has her, she's on the ground, he has her down. Maybe him telling her, let me go. Naturally, obviously, that's what he's going to say. Or behave yourself, let me go, because he's probably saying, listen to me. You can't manhandle me, I'm a male. He's not saying all of that. I am putting all of that in. Please don't go and say that is what he said. And he has to teach her, do not try and disrespect me. And I've even done videos and I say, listen to me, females. Men are made physically stronger. Do not go and try to fight a man, whether he's skinny, whether he's fat, in between, I don't care. You see those kinds of households where you see maybe the woman beat up on the man? Let me tell you something. If that man was to really retaliate and let go that male strength on her, the woman de fene. She fene. So don't even watch those things. Maybe sometimes, maybe they're so broken that they allow the so-called beat up. You hear what I'm saying to you? Because if that man retaliates, it's problem. Men are physically stronger. So I encourage you, don't try and push the buttons of a man. Because there's something in the back of many women's minds, that because you're the weaker of the two physically, you feel if you go and attack him physically, that he's not going to respond. Not the man nowadays, man here. Don't do it. Don't do it. Even back in the day when we used to fight a female, when me go high school or even prep school, if I fight which man, I'll be out of my cotton picking mind. I'll be an idiot. Because I can't take the man lick. I don't think God damage me where it stay permanently damaged. I don't want that. So I'm not going to fight him. I'll argue with him and cuss him, yes. Argue and cuss and probably go and bother or whatnot. But me not putting a hands on it. I don't even like that. I don't believe in it. Abuse comes in different format. But you see the physical one, I do my best to avoid that. I don't subscribe to that. Once you start to go in the physical, that is when all hell breaks loose. Once it goes into the physical, verbal is horrible, don't get me wrong. Psychological is horrible. Sexual I put on the physical because it's a sexual act and a mental act, yes. Don't get me wrong, verbal and psychological, those are horrible, horrible, horrible. But you see the physical, no. Once it hits there, it's going to open up a can of worms and create further problems, and it can physically harm you and damage you. And I know some people going to want to hit out on that man, because he held her down, put his hand on, you're going to probably think she wasn't being choked, because if she was choked, you'd hear her gagging, and probably people are going to say, so you're killing her, or whatnot. He held her, because he stayed in one position, like he was kind of leaned over, and held her, basically pushing her, kind of have to force her in a sense, to let him go. She eventually did. And as she let him go, he let her go. As she let him go, he let her go. I saw that. As she let him go, he let her go. Let me tell you something, parents. Some of you are the fuel or the fueler. If there's such a word, you fuel these children being this way. You know why? You don't hold them accountable. Sometimes you unwittingly, sometimes allow them to behave in such manner. You allow them to get away with things. I remember somebody was sharing with me with a little baby cursing, using indecent language, cursing by, she sound cutie. When they do wrong, you don't hold them accountable. You say they sound cute. And then what they do, they disrespect the teachers first. And then as they get older, they turn that disrespect on you. They turn that disrespect on you. Thus, unwittingly pronouncing a curse on them. Because you know the Bible talks about honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long on the land. And may not necessarily mean in terms of length of life per se. They probably can live long, but the type of life, it's not quality. And then when they disrespect elderly people, it's like a double curse comes upon them. You people don't want to hear the reality of life. Sometimes when they say all of them strange illnesses, strange sickness and disease and these things, and God now gonna forget. No sin goes unpunished. And not holding on the picking them accountable, teaching them the right things. And they're bringing that into the schools. I can hardly believe that I'm living in a time when students have no fear in fighting teacher, disrespecting teacher like this. They have no fear. Because it is allowed. Administration afraid of parents, because afraid of family members, because they don't know if they might come kill them, slash them tires, do all manner of evil to them. And those parents or family members don't understand that. You see that seed that you know sow? Trust me, uno go reap it too. And not just picking them here. Uno go reap it too, because that curse is going to go down to the 3rd and 4th generation of the children who are rebellious. I am so incensed. This level of disrespect that is allowed. And when you see them young people that disrespect older people in a dark society, we're in for it. You see, once I come across anybody young that is rude, and I know I'm not rude to them because I do my best. I endeavor to show respect to all. It doesn't matter where you're from. Anyway, when I see like you're rude or you can't even speak to them, correct them, I leave you be. I leave you be. I don't need to take on that burden. I am not God. That may not take on. But I know that child is going to face it in the long run if there's no quick and swift intervention. When you take prayer out of school, when you take accountability out of school, when you take the right type of discipline. I never said abuse, because I'm against abuse. When you take them the things out of school and they kick. When they pick them in a big people argument, when have big people argument, pick them around it, them listen to how they talk to each other, and they grow up and they feel that we are all the same size, like we are your size. You know, Jamaica talk about size. We are, behave like we are size. The child is not ready for that league, for that adulthood league yet. And force right them. And this is what we're producing in schools. And the illiteracy rate is, we are at 138th place. They were talking about a lot of the 15-year-olds in Jamaica basically dunce when they were doing some foreign survey. A number of the 15-year-olds dunce. And there was a school where they said a lot of the teenagers in high school reading at a grade 4 level. And you wonder why these things happen. Parents, you're the main perpetrator, whether parents, guardians, or whoever it is that they grow up with. Main perpetrator, main fueler of these things. And we're poor. Look at the schools. Why bother for the teachers to go to school to be facing this and dreading, when will something like this reach me? Can you imagine going to school wondering, boy, I can't even discipline, I can't this, I can't talk, I can't even rule my domain. I have authority and can't even exercise it. Notice I'm not talking abuse. This is madness. This is utter madness. I hope they don't do anything for that teacher, the male what I'm talking about. The one with the male and the female student. You know? I hope not. And I know people going to come and say this, that, and the other. May God help us all. May God help us all. Teachers, may God be with you now. Guys, follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this message.